Hello and welcome to another beautiful edition of the Locker Room on Voice of the People Television. I am Jerry Apelai, and we've got a thrilling show for you today as it promises to be exciting. Joining me today are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, who are ready to break down all the action and share their hot takes on what's going down in the football world. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for those who are watching us on YouTube, you can also be a part of the show by calling us via the WhatsApp number showing on your screen. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you never get to miss an episode of The Locker Room. We're always here to give you football updates Mondays to Friday. And of course, we also have the weekend kickoff. That's every Saturday. So we're always here. And of course, we also have our sister program talking about Sport Republic. That's in the morning by 11 a.m. live. And of course, we're always here to give you all the best as far as football entertainment, sport entertainment. And of course, we're always a news channel. We do a lot of things. And of course, we're here to serve you the best as far as broadcasting is concerned. All right, I'll do the honors. The usual suspect, Ikechukwu. Another beautiful day to talk football.
Yes, Jerry, good evening, and good evening to our viewers. Another very beautiful day to talk football. A lot is going on in the transfer world. Of course, preseason just getting very, very more heated.
Yeah.
And Arsenal actually got defeated today, courtesy of the amazing SARS Stunner. It was an interesting game. And then the season is just about a few weeks from reopening, and then I hope that clubs that have done good business in the markets will definitely get the reward of the business they've done.
All right, of course, it's not unusual. Even Liverpool also lost to AC Milan in the preseason tournament until they won their last game against Yokohama. That the name of that team is Yokohama team. That's what I'll call it. And of course, they played at the stadium where the final of the Korea-Japan 2002 was played. Imagine after so long, that stadium is still buzzing. It's still beautiful. It still has all the razzmatazz. Talking about maintenance culture of the Japanese people. I think I want to give it to the Japanese people for being a good maintenance of their facilities. And 2002, that's 23, 24, yeah, 23 years ago. And still, that stadium is still buzzing and life is in it. Imagine stadiums that were built in, let's say, 2003, Koja. Abuja Stadium is a shadow of itself. Can we even talk about the National Stadium? It's really, it's another kettle of fish. So many other stadiums. Anyway, it is what it is. And my one will also be joining us virtually. He's still here to join us. But let's do the honors of kicking off the show where a cross-section of football lovers in Malawi have expressed their disappointment with Patricia Gia Okafor, mother of Chioma Okafor, for allowing her daughter to play for Nigeria instead of Malawi. She was born in Malawi to a Malawian mother and a Nigerian father and started her football career in Malawi and trained with the Malawi national team in 2015, but never featured for the Scorchers. In February, she shared a video clarifying in Chichewa language that she is Malawian after some fans questioned her nationality because of her name. According to reports, the decision of Okafor, who won the recently concluded Wafcon to play for Nigeria after initially showing commitment to represent Nigeria, hasn't gone down well with people in the country. And her mother, who is from Malawi, has been largely fingered as the major disappointment in her decision. But she argued in an interview before the Wafcon that it was the sole decision of her daughter. Okafor didn't play a single game for Nigeria at the tournament due to injury and tactical issues, but she remains upbeat that a chance will definitely come. Yeah, much controversy because even what I really heard was that she waited for the Malawian option, but they didn't come. But the NFF showed more persistency, and of course, the one that showed more persistency, and even if they didn't even show much persistence, who would you pick? A team that will guarantee you dominance on the African scene. And the fact that her father is from Nigeria, definitely, as an African, where your father comes from, the rules, where your mom comes from, whether we like it or not, it is just an African thing. And her name is Okafor. The mother may have a say, but she cannot even override where the girl wants to be, for instance, and even where her father comes from. She wants to identify with her roots because she was born, she knows Malawi, but she would like to know her father's people as well. And I think the Malawians definitely, they feel sad that her quality would have been added more advantage to them due to her Nigerian roots. Of course, imagine a Nigerian play for Malawi. It will bring something extra. Whether you like it or not, Nigerians are naturally born with talent when it comes to even football.
Yeah, true. I think I'll start from where she talked about being part of the Malawian national team in 2015, and they actually didn't actually give her the chance to actually make a case. I think what smart people do, some of these countries, I understand that players definitely evolve with time. What they do is they'll give you one cap, use that to tie you, and hope that a couple of years down the line you definitely grow into a big player and become an integral part of the team. But they didn't take that chance. We had the likes of John Fashion, who also came to the Super Eagles at some point, had an opportunity to actually be part of the team. They didn't actually give him the opportunity to actually play, and he actually left. If he actually turned out to be a global star, a big player that the English national team would have rallied the team around, then perhaps we'll be left with licking our wound. Another very good example, unfortunately this time around, is in club football. Kopama really didn't have a lot of chance in Manchester City, but today he's shining like a million star in Chelsea. So these things happen all of the time. But for paternity, right, I think it's not all of the case in Africa. In Ghana, for example, where your mother comes from is in fact, in some cases it's even stronger than where your father comes from. So she decides to actually play for Nigeria. That's what she wants to do. In terms of how related she is to Nigeria, she's way more related to Nigeria than Ashley Pumphrey, who decides to actually switch allegiance. So why can't the Malawians just allow her breathe? Again, you made another very, very valuable point. I mean, what is the pedigree of Malawi in female football? What is the pedigree of Malawi in football generally in Africa? Now you have a player who actually, I think it's their miss. They made a mistake, by not actually, bringing her into the fold earlier enough. Because I remember Equatorial Guinea won the Nations Cup. I'm talking about Wafcon now on 2 occasions. And one of those occasions, they defeated the Super Falcons. A good number of the players that actually won that Nations Cup with the Equatorial Guinea side are Nigerian born in that part of Africa. They actually did very well. They were strong. They played tactically. In fact, they were blessed with talent. Of course, as you know, that when it comes to female football, Nigerians are spoiled for talent, and these girls actually did a lot. And as at that time they won that particular Nations Cup, those girls that won that Nations Cup may not even break into the Super Falcons team. To tell you how blessed that's era. I mean, this is the era of Nyesom Wike and co, right? Now we have this same thing happening. It's so unfortunate that the girl didn't have opportunity to play because of injury. I just hope that we'll get to really see her more often. And it's also a good thing that she's still very young, so she's still got time to actually be part of the Super Falcons going forward.
All right, she's still very young, and she wasn't part of the Super Falcons at the very time. But it is what it is. Anyway, after the Malian football fans expressed their disappointment, Chioma Mothers has come out to clear the air that it was purely her daughter's own decision. And of course, her name is Patricia Gia Okafor, meaning that she identifies with the fact that she's married to a Nigerian. And of course, Chioma was born in Malawi. That's a bit contentious because they feel that she should be more Malawian than a Nigerian. I remember when we were in secondary school, if they want to express the beauty of a woman, we called, did you see that Malawi? And when I first said it, I didn't really understand what it means of Malawi. And they say, did you see that Malawi? I said, how is it Malawi? That means a beautiful woman is in Malawi. So, but it is what it is. I think they should just let this one go. It has happened, And even she didn't even play. I think they would now say, if not for her impact, we won't have done anything.
Yes.
With or without Chioma Okafor, we would have still won that Wafcon. But that is not to say that choosing her to be part of that team, the handlers of the Super Falcons saw that she had the talent. She has what it takes to play for the Super Falcons, and that is why they invited her. And I think this one is already a lost cause for the Malawians. I don't know whether she will get a good reception like she used to get when she goes back to Malawi, and the fact that even her mom too, maybe, I don't know their culture, the way they look at people, who they feel didn't do what they actually want them to do.
Well, I don't think they are going to really make a lot of a mountain out of this. I think this is just a reaction to the fact that they felt this girl would have been a part of our national team. But again, a tree can never make a forest, especially in female football. Female football is quite difficult for one person to actually run the show and then help you actually win a tournament. So they need a more trauma in that particular team to actually even stand a chance to compete in African football. They've not really been competing in female African football. Not even African football generally. The Malawians have not really been competing. So when it comes to I'm struggling to understand why they actually are attacking the mother, complaining and because of course if we are handed over trauma to them, it won't really have made any difference in the Malawian national. But of course I understand what they feel because again it's quite different when you see a child you actually groomed grew up to become a player you would have hoped to be part of your it's more of an emotional thing. They are emotionally attached to her, and of course, at some point, she actually also expressed that she's a full Malawian. In a video she actually did a couple of years ago. So all of these things, tend to make them feel like okay, she actually betrayed the cause. They were expecting her to be part of, the Malawian teams, even if the Malawian national team is actually down. They want her to be part of it, but it's unfortunate. I mean, she's made that choice. Her father is very much a Nigerian, and as far as I'm concerned. She's as a Nigerian as she is a Malawian. So whichever chance she actually chooses, and Nigeria is a bigger brand. Malawians have not really placed themselves. This is part of the question we've been talking about, asking a couple of months ago when we say how well have we conducted ourselves that we feel we will become attractive. Nigeria is way more attractive in terms of female football, even in football generally than Malawi. And I don't think she's making a wrong call because every right-thinking person would definitely grab the opportunity of being a part of the most successful team in female African football.
All right, this is what it is. I know when Maiwa has eventually joined us. Maiwa, it's great to have you join us on the locker room.
Well, sir, yeah, it's always amazing to be here. They say better late than never. Thank you for having me, Jerry.
Yeah, we're just talking about the situation of Malawi. They're not happy that Chioma Okafor chose to play for the Super Falcons, and they feel that the mother should have done better to make sure her daughter play for Malawi.
I think the thing is this. I won't fault the Malawians. The question we should ask is this: how many stars have they been able to produce all this years? And also, Okafor, if he decides to switch to Malawi, will she ever play for them? When was the last time Malawi qualified for the Wafcon? I think she made the right choice, switching to Nigeria. And on her first try, she's already, an African champion. So, I mean, the Super Falcon brand is very active. I mean, it's only an insane person. You will see a 9-time champion, you will ignore them and go for, with all due respect to the Malawians, you will go with a no-name team in Africa. So, I mean, if she had made the right decision, definitely the Malawians will be hot because, I mean, a lot of people will feel the mothers should have much more influence on the, on children. However, like the girl rightly said, the lady rightly said in the interview, said the pressure has she decided on her own, and I think she chose correctly, choosing Nigeria as needed result for her. And she's part of the rebuilding process. She's part of the future of the national team of Nigeria. So sorry, Malawi, Nigeria is way better than you. Okafor decided to play for Nigeria.
All right, and of course, still talking about the Super Falcons. We're going to talk about is President Tinubu's reward to the Super Falcons for winning the 2024 Wafcon justified. And of course, the Super Falcons of Nigeria successfully completed their Mission X following victory over Morocco in the final of the 2024 Wafcon. And of course, the president thought in his own wisdom to dole out as much as $100,000. And of course, if you take a look at the Naira exchange, that's about 160 million Naira. And of course, the governors forum also give them 10 million Naira each. And of course, it's not only the players, even the coaching crew, they're also giving $50,000 and 10 million Naira each. And there's also an award, national award, the OOR award, and they're also going to be giving 3-bedroom flats in Abuja. So some Nigerians are saying that I think I even saw a picture of the athletic team that won at the junior athletic championship. They won gold, saying that they won and nothing has been done. And even saw a meme by the Tigers saying that, wow, they are motivated, that if the president can give the Super Falcons $100,000, who says that if they go back to back to win the Afro Basket Championship, they might be getting $150,000. So there's been a lot of mixed reaction about this. It's a lot of money to give these girls. For me, I don't know. I don't want to say my mind yet, but let me just even say it. I think it's even small. It's not even enough. 160 million. What are you going to do? Yeah.
Each.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay for me. I think it's okay to at least. How much will 160 million still do?
Each player.
Yeah. For each player. At least.
They've been given a house.
Yes. We had the house that they will not live in, and they may have to sell it because
now you know how much a property worth in Abuja.
Come on. That's if it is not in the Otakpe area, all those hinterland. You know, when government was everywhere, they can give you land, your house anywhere.
Okay,
say they're giving you a house.
Okay,
they're not going to give you GRA or one highbrow area.
Let's even say there's no house.
Okay.
160 million naira.
Yeah.
Right. Considering our current economic
because 150
situation.
plus 10 million, that's 160 million.
No, that's the current
plus 10
rate.
million, that's 170 million.
No, that's
plus 10 million the governors is giving them now. That's 170 million.
That's minus. The Super Eagles players also give them 30 million naira.
Okay. They're going to split down. Let me say 170, 175 million.
Let's even say 170.
Okay.
So, Jerry, considering Nigeria's economic reality today, police are protesting, our schools are dilapidated, virtually everything in this country is not working. Now, if you are going by this route, and this is why I want to see what will happen, because the Tigers has also been conquering Africa. I hope they end up winning their own championship as well.
Yes, it's not Mission X, sir.
Oh, okay, so it's about winning the Mission X now.
Maybe they will do Mission X, they'll give them 150.
These girls, see, Jerry.
Yeah, of course, the Tigers, I cannot take it away from them.
Exactly my point.
Wakama is doing a very excellent job.
So now.
They were recognized during their time. They were giving money when they won it last time.
I remember, we have a very bad, I'm not saying that, rewarding people is not good. Yeah. I'm saying we have a very terrible reward system in this country. We have and the reason why we have this terrible reward system is because we lack maintenance culture. I'll explain this. I remember in 2009, the team that won the Under-17 World Cup, they defeated Nigeria, the Senderos and Juru, Switzerland. Under-17. These guys were given a wristwatch. Because of course, they're 17 years old.
You know how expensive our watches?
Jerry, wristwatch.
Very expensive one of that.
In their country. Is it?
An expensive wristwatch.
Jerry!
A wristwatch that they can sell and still make good out of it.
Jerry, schoolboys. I know what our Under-17 gets when they win, championship. Now, because we know that, we have this culture of the attack and IDP camp today, right? Instead of the government to go there and then ensure that these people go back to their home, chase these criminals away and secure the space, they would rather go there and give them 2 billion.
At least
to remain in IDP.
The first lady gave them 1 billion.
These are the kind of attitude that we promote. Instead of you using this, okay, you know what, $100,000. I mean, we're talking about times 23-man players, right? So we're looking at over $2.3 million. You know what that would have done to develop female football? In 10 years, we'll still be seeing the reward of that particular money. But no, they decided to actually give it to these girls. And then, clap kumbaya and expect them to actually come back and win another championship. And then tomorrow, the Tigers will come out.
The Tigers were rewarded the last time they won.
$100,000.
No.
Jerry, it's about setting the benchmark.
The thing is that
you set the benchmark.
You cannot equate the importance of the Wafcon.
Jerry, this is unfair. This is unfair.
How far? Calm down.
No.
Tell me about the fan base in Nigeria now. Let me tell you.
It's about fan base now.
Yes, about the politics.
We are discussing.
The attention you derive, they determine your market value. That's the truth. More or less, we are trying to deceive ourselves. Yeah. If we are trying to deceive ourselves, yes, we can say yes. that they should be giving $100,000. They should be giving all of the enjoyment. That means the Super Eagles that got to the final the last time, at least they should be giving $200,000 for reaching the final. Maybe if they are won, they will give them $500,000 each. Yes, because if you look at the value, the recognition it means to win the Wafcon. Let's not forget the 2013 Wafcon. We all know how the players, Dangote and Co, everybody were giving them money left, right, and center. But nobody raised an uproar because, it's
nobody
football.
gave them $100,000 each in 2013. Jerry.
In 2010, $100,000 was over.
The equivalent of the money they gave them that time is not even up to $100,000. Jerry, I'm saying the equivalent of the money they gave them then is not up to $100,000 today. It's not.
They got a lot of money.
How much?
At least that government was maybe prudent, a little bit more prudent. But this is a statement. It's good.
Jerry,
let's not discourage it.
See, you only do this if you only do this in a working system, and it's even terrible.
Mayo, what's your take?
Yeah, I mean the thing is this. See, it goes two ways. Let's look at it in this light. Football is above all other sports in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Put on a football match, put on a sprint. A lot of people will tune into football and leave other sports alone. And that's the reason why football is number one in Nigeria. That's number one. Number two, the girls, what they are giving the girls is more of an encouragement for other people to be interested. Yes, there are issues as regards, even the preparation, even the girls that won, what went into the preparation was so poor. But I don't think the president has done any wrong, in rewarding the girls. Does that stop them from still investing in female football? No, it should not stop them. However, I think what the president has done is, it should be applauded. He rewarded the girls, all the girls. They were handsomely rewarded for their doggedness. You know what the girls went through during the preparation. It took a private citizen to get them a camp, to give them where they will camp before the tournament. So, I mean, in as much as, we might have one or two things in terms of how we do things, I think what the president has done is a good thing and is making a statement. We cannot, we cannot continue, we cannot equate what football we get to other sports. I'll give a typical example. The Ivory Coast team that defeated Nigeria in the Nations Cup final. The president rewarded them handsomely, gave them houses, and gave them money in millions, and not in small denomination, because they won. And it's just to appreciate them for what they've done. And the same thing is being done by the president of the Super Falcons. I don't think 170 million or 160 million, sticking to what the president has given them, is too much for the girls. I don't think so. When after getting this, we don't know the next time they will get something. That's number one. Number two, these are the same people that are being owed for over years. We've had news of players being owed for 5-6 years. This might be the bulk of money they might get in the next 6 years, because we know the kind of FA we have. Yes. So I won't fault this. I think this is really nice. Some of these guys were being owed allowances. Remember when the news broke about FA owing people about 5-6 years of arrears, and they've not been able to pay it till now.
Let's even make sure that they get this $100,000, because it will be unfair that they will criticize them. Okay, and the $100,000 will be on a deposit check, a fees check.
If it's a done check,
change their mind.
Along
the line, let's not give you $100,000. Let's take 20.
You have $2.3 million. Mm-hmm. You have a very dilapidated, football infrastructure. Your football development is next to nothing. And then you manage to actually get, a championship win. Where are you going to spend the $2.3 million? On the winners or developing your
Don't worry, they'll get money for winning the championship.
I'm not saying
the NFF can do the business of that.
Jerry, now the issue is this.
Okay.
The issue is not whether they should reward them monetarily. I'm not saying they shouldn't. Right. I'm just saying it's excessive.
Okay, Mayo, we have a caller. Let's take this call. I believe he has an opinion, whoever is calling. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, your life.
Yeah. Good morning. This is Tauri from Chicago.
Tauri from Chicago. Great to have you.
So good to have you guys too. I mean, I'm always happy when I'm listening to you guys. Okay. I just want to contribute a little bit. what you guys are talking about. I mean, let's just remember, soccer. It doesn't have a retirement entitlement from anybody.
Yes.
Whatever they can make right now, whatever they make right now, that's their own money, and then that's what they're going to sit with on their entire life.
Mm.
I think what President that just did, I don't think is to be honest with you, like you said before, Mr. Jerry, I don't think it's much, but good is okay. I mean, those guys right there, maybe some of them might not even, I mean, continue a career anymore. I mean, that's little one. If if she, I mean, doing a very good job on it. I mean, that's another problem already solved somewhere. That's make me remember one thing in America here. They always doing they call it lottery. They, what they are thinking about that lottery is they collect money from you, me, everybody. They put it together. They give it to one person. They think they already give it to that person. The problem already solved. One problem already solved that area. I think it's not that much. Let's be realistic. There's no retirement for soccer. That's the reason why. That's the reason why all those professional. I mean, coach or whatever. That's what people think they don't want to give. No, because they remember that okay, after 30, 40 years, maybe 40 years, they spend on this soccer. After that, that's it. They're still alive. I mean, people have to give them. One day, I was speaking with Taribo West. He was telling me that okay, when people saw him, maybe I mean 3 miles or 4 miles away from his house, he don't want to take his car or what, just take a car. People in Nigeria say, you know. I mean, look at that. I mean, and it makes sense. Not all the time that's gonna be driving for somebody that already play. I mean, it needs to work. But people in Nigeria, that's the way we raise. That's where we are. They'll be thinking like, okay, all the money that I accomplish me, whatever, is already spending it away. So I think it's not that much. Let's encourage our government for this man that I think it did good. Let's just don't blame government because we don't do. People are still talking. Remember, Nigeria is a politics country. It's everywhere, not only Nigeria. It's everywhere. If he doesn't give them to that, I will see the opposition will say, "Oh, look at that. Look at how they spend Nigerian money. Whatever they can't give people that Let's just stay positive with this one. I think the government do the good job. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Tariq, for pointing out that most footballers don't have retirement benefits like the police and those in government. When they retire, they get something back. And of course, we remember the 94 Eagles, how long it took them to even get the promises that was made to them. Maybe money will be given to them, but this 3-bedroom, they might have it when they already having grandchildren. But we hope it will not be like that. They will now start pushing various governments, making memos and so on and so forth. Some will even die and leave the gift that was promised them. And I think with that fact, 160 million is just about how you spend it, how you utilize it, and plan for the future. Because some of them, like Okoronkwo is 28, in 3-4 years' time, she might be planning retirement to start a family. You get? And she has taken her time to play football. And her club side, how much are they paying them? We know female football and they are not paid that much. How many club sides pay players as much as $100,000 even in a year? You get? So he's recouping that money, the reward for your work. And if they didn't give them that money at all, they just give them handshake, a lot of Nigerians too will not be happy. But whichever side it falls, I think on the long run, I'm happy that the Super Falcons have been recognized and been given such a kind of reward. And of course, Odam United on the 19th coach, talking about Chukwuma Akuneto, has said that the President Tinubu's generous cash reward to players and officials of the Super Falcons for winning the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations was a shining example of how a nation should honor its heroes. And each member of the Super Falcons squad was gifted 150 million naira, approximately $100,000 by the president during a state dinner and reception in Abuja following their historic win. And Mayo Akunetu is agreeing with you that it's a good one to encourage these girls, because some of them are no longer young. Some of them might be retiring soon. The likes of, anyway, our sister Australia is a big girl. She has made money. What about Francisca Odega? What about Halimatu, Ayinde, Osinachi, or Hale? Which this might be their last championship, and they may be planning retirement anytime soon. Maya.
That's correct. A whole lot of them, even Desire Payano say retired in the early 30s to start family and the rest of that. I mean, this is like retirement money for them. However, Ikechukwu was trying to make a point the other time. If it were in the same climb, you would say, you want to invest $2.3 million, or maybe approximately almost $3 million if you include what they will give the coaching crew and the rest of that, approximately $3 million. You want to invest it in infrastructure. The same FA that collects FIFA allocation, what can they point to that they've used the FIFA allocation for? I would rather have the money given to the player than be given to the NFF, to the FA, that has a very poor record of doing anything tangible with funds that come to them. The same FA that 200,000 went missing in the in their coffers, in their office, and 4-5 years after, we don't know who took 200,000. So I think it's just good that the president is doing that. A whole lot of these ladies, we all know the highest paid player in football in the female side, I think, earns about $200,000 every year, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of players, even in WSL in England, they play football part-time. They still work and earn minimum wage. So, I mean, it's a good that the president is doing this. A whole lot of these girls will be able to, invest this money or even take care of their family with this money, because we all know, especially female football or even footballers, they tend to be forgotten immediately they leave the limelight. There is no pension package. There is nothing like that. So, I mean, the president has done so well. But the big question is this. I hope it is just not audio announcement. I hope the money is actually given to them. I hope this is not just for, we are entering the political season. This is not just for political clout. I hope the money is actually given to them.
All right. We hope that the money is actually given to them. I know the president definitely will surely make sure that this one gets to them, because the backlash will not be funny. Yeah.
Well, the question is, if it happens, what will you do?
At least we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll say something about it.
They are used to backlash and everyone.
Funny enough, on this, I'm not taking self-praise for this platform, Locker Room. Each time we bring up a matter and somehow we emphasize on it, somehow we'll find out that there's always a reaction.
Yes.
And they will find that there's results. I'm talking about Locker Room. Mario, I don't know whether you've observed it, because
that's true.
Yeah, no matter how little you think what we're doing here, we always somehow find that. Yeah, okay, Mario, go ahead.
Yeah, you remember when we complained about a child, having to struggle with English? We complained 2 days later, he has an interpreter. Remember when we complained about Tanimu and the rest of them?
Yes, he was not invited.
The next election, they were kicked out. So, in as much as we are not trying to blow our own trumpet, I think if we speak, they usually listen. I think, some powers that be, they listen to us and they know we are talking sense.
Yes, definitely. And of course, we've decided to make sure that this platform is used for that, because it's the voice of the people. Even when people will not speak logically because of one bias or the other, we here will just see it the way it is and say it the way it is without looking at any undue influence, to make sure that we hear our voice, and of course make sure that this platform is exceptionally for the voice of the people. Talking about the voice of the people is the voice of God. Voi populi, voi deli. All right, let's talk about Italian Serie A side Udinese have backed Nigerian international goalkeeper Maduka Okoye, who was charged with an allegation of match fixing following an investigation into the yellow card he received against Lazio last season. Prosecutors alleged that the goalkeeper deliberately got booked late into the game owing to betting patterns from a province in Udine, where he recites on him getting a second yellow card. He went to the court, and according to a statement by Udinese, he was excluded from any sporting fraud but given a 2-month ban for another offense totally unrelated to fixing the game. A 4-year ban would have been the verdict if he was found guilty of sporting fraud. The 2-month ban will begin from this first official game of the season with Udinese, which is the scheduled Coppa Italia tie against Canarese on August 18. It's good that the club side is sticking by this guy. He'll be back October 18, all things being equal. And what more can he ask for his clubs to still trust him and back him in spite of all of the allegations made against him?
The verdict has been called, and once the verdict has been called, and the club side now understand that he's innocent, so they're definitely going to be sticking to him. No one wants to stick to a bad market, because if the court has found him guilty, it's going to rub off on the club. And it's so good that it happened that he's actually innocent of the crime that was alleged, and he can actually now concentrate on his career after this 2 months spell. I think there's a huge lesson to be learned here. The prosecutor obviously unable to actually prove that his actions was directly involved. There's a direct involvement between his action and the result of the betting that they were alleging against him. So it's still very I think it's still around 23 or 24. So he's still very young as a goalkeeper. He still has a lot to actually learn. And if by any means or by any chance that he's actually involved in that, I think this is the best time to just call it quit and then focus on his career. It's so good also to know that you have a good management that's actually backing you, because a lot of clubs I would want to actually pull away, distance themselves even after the court verdict. But this is an assurance. This is a way of saying yes. This is a way of saying we trust you and can understand. I mean, there's nowhere. I don't think there's anywhere in the world where you find the best employers, right? That the best employees who actually come into a particular space and you look back, you look at the way they're actually behaving, and then you don't see the reflection in the way they got into the job and the people actually managing the job. So it's actually a very good one for him, and I'm so happy because it's one of those goalkeepers I want to believe that he's got the necessary talent to actually battle the number 1 jersey with Stanley Nwabali. So now that he's definitely back, I want to get to see him train more and give him a very good run for his money, because I don't really like the fact that we don't have a good number 2 for that Super Eagles jersey. It really worries me. But now he's back. Let's get to see him play again.
All right, let's get to see him play again. Maiwa, the club side, back in the young man.
Well, I think there is no greater assurance than that. Kudos to Udinese standing by him. And for obvious reasons, when the allegation came out, obviously you want to make the players stay away from you because of the brands, that are sponsoring the club. A whole lot of brands will not want to be associated with anything relating to match fixing. So it's a good one that he has had his day in court, and he has been found not guilty of those allegations. However, this is also a warning to him. He should watch all his moves. That's number 1. And if by any chance, if by any stretch, he has ever been involved in match fixing, I think this is a sign and a warning to him that he should stay away. He should watch how he moves and how he does things, so that they don't put him among those that fix matches. I'm very happy for him. He would have lost 4 years of his career, and he might not be able to recover again. He's just only getting suspended for 2 months, which is way better than 4 years. Also, I want to see him do much more better than what he has been doing. As far as I'm concerned, Nwabali is doing great, but I think Nwabali has not nailed down the number 1 shirt. And I think, a Maduka Okoye has the capability to be able to do it. But the issue has always been, anytime he wears the Nigerian jersey, he's not always giving his best, and that needs to change if he wants to have a shot at ever being the number 1 in Nigeria. Congratulations to him, and I hope he comes back after the 2 months ban even more stronger and more better.
All right, we hope he comes back even more stronger and even more better. All right, let's talk about Arsenal. It looks like the struggle in paradise. It was not the best of debut for Victor Gyökeres for Arsenal, as the Premier League Giants fell to a 1-0 defeat to North London rivals Tottenham Hotspur in the preseason match in Hong Kong on Thursday. And Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta brought Gyökeres on in the 77th minute for his debut as Bukayo Saka came off after receiving treatment. And of course, yeah, it's too early to judge. It's just a friendly preseason game, and he came in 77 minutes. But those who doesn't love Liverpool, Arsenal, they've already started making the mole out of it. Of course, you understand why.
Yeah, well, for me, the game is not even about Arsenal. It's more about Tottenham. I see something brilliant with what Thomas Frank is actually building with that team. I mean, he's been with Brentford for the last 3 seasons, and then what he did, last season actually, he really made a statement with, of course, I mean, low budget and the talent or the quality disparity among the top 6 or top 8 teams. He actually finished 10th, and what he did with that particular team, and some of the players actually, did a lot of work individually also. I think he's arguably one of the best coach in terms of breaking lines, and he's a coach that really likes to go forward. And also, if you look at the way last season ended, Thomas Frank's team I think ranks about the top 6 teams in terms of number of goals scored. So it tells you a lot again how how formidable they are in terms of going forward. So having a Tottenham side that really like to also attack, and the quality is way better than what we saw what Brentford had under him, then trust me, I think they are really going to be a lot of problem with team. Even though I know Tottenham can be very inconsistent, but I mean a friendly match against Arsenal actually proved one thing right, that Thomas Frank with a better quality, he's definitely going to do better. How much of this can they hold all through the season is yet to know, because of course looking at that Tottenham side, there's really no more depth. But the first team, I think he's really done something very good. The likes of Kudus and Sarr, I mean the top 6 teams in England will really watching their shoulders anytime they're actually playing this season, because what Thomas Frank is bringing is going to be really different from what we've seen a Tottenham side had in the last 2 seasons.
All right, of course, talking about they'll have to win more than the Europa League. Are you saying they're going to win the Premier League? Maiwa, is it time for them to win or challenge for the Premier League? Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, I don't think so. I think it's too early to call. This is just preseason. I would not want to start throwing stones at Gyökeres and to Thomas Frank. However, the way Tottenham set up their team, the way they are playing, especially the inclusion of Kudus and Pape Matesa, I mean, those are top quality, top-notch players that can control the pace of the midfield. And, bringing those 2 players into that team, gives Tottenham an edge. However, even while with Brentford, there has been some period of time that, there was no consistency in the results for Brentford. And what I want to see is, I would like to see, a more consistent Thomas Frank. We all know the issue with Tottenham Hotspur. They've been inconsistent. They are consistent in being inconsistent. That has always been the issue. Can Thomas Frank break that jinx? Well, it's too early to call. For Arsenal, obviously you don't expect Gyökeres to come and start doing magic. He just had about 30 minutes to play in that particular game. So I mean, they are trying to ease him into the team. So it goes 2 ways. But the bottom line is when the season starts, that's when we are going to see exactly what the 2 coaches will be able to do. I think Thomas Frank has an opportunity to be able to prove every other person wrong. But I don't think a Thomas Frank-led Tottenham will be challenging for the EPL. But I will not be surprised if they finish the top 6 because of what a Thomas Frank has been able to do with a low-budget club. It's going to be an interesting season ahead, and I'm looking forward to see how Arteta and Thomas Frank fare in the new season.
All right, looking forward to see how they fare in the new season. Time really fast spent, we'll have to go. And of course, we already know that Alexander Isak is now training with Real Sociedad, meaning that he's actually really pushing to leave Newcastle United. We hear that Jadon Sancho is ready also to take a pay cut to make a return to Borussia Dortmund, because he doesn't want to be a part of the bomb squad by Ruben Amorim. Okay, big thanks, Mario. Big thanks to Ikechukwu for being a part of the show. Big thanks to the guys behind the scene, talking about the likes of Victor, not leaving out Alex, Paul, and of course Hassan. My name is Gerard Pelahai, saying thanks for being a part of the locker room. Up next is Political Lens with Chukwuma Okoro. Stay tuned.